skip.
Oh.
No technical difficulties.
Yay!
Wow.
All right.
I'm shooketh.
This will go down in history.
I know.
Yeah.
The first episode where it worked. Right on cue.
Well,
we were not expecting that.
That's our show today. I would be glad you tuned in. No. Welcome to Keep Stream Skip. This is our last Halloween picks episode. And with me is Samantha.
Hello.
And Juliana. And my name is Nick. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, go ahead and go back to the previous episodes. Check out those. Just to let you know, we do have spoilers. We do try to provide trigger warnings when we feel like they really should be. And we also rank these movies in screenplay, direction, acting, cinematography, editing, special effects. And then we give an overall score, where it's either going to be keep, stream, or skip. And what's the date today? It's 10/28. So it's October 28th.
2024.
2024.
Never living that one down, am I?
Nope.
So today we just again, we got spoilers. So we're going to go over the summary. And today's first movie to finish it off out of two is Sleepy Hollow, 1999.
Sorry.
What was that supposed to be?
Now, this is
snoring.
a sequel to...
Why?
Because it's sleepy.
Oh, I thought you were insulting me because I was going too slow or I was tiring.
Now, this is a sequel to the Ichabod and
Ichabod?
Ichabod and the Headless Horseman.
Ichabod. It's not Ichabod.
Ichabod. Happy now.
Well, you really went firm on the second one. So I was like, maybe she actually thinks it's Ichabod.
What if I did think it was that?
I'm crying.
Wow.
All right, Ichabobby, let's go.
So
I
what
seriously
are you talking about
thought
with
in my
sequel?
whole entire years of life that it was Ichabod. It's the Ichabod and Sleepy Hollow one.
Oh, wow.
Headless Horseman. The Disney movie from 1934. Just kidding.
It did have Danny Elfman.
Well, I think we lost all credibility as movie reviewers.
I think I'll just stop talking now.
I'm crying. Part 2.
Oh, wow. Oh, we found out something we didn't think we were going to find out today, even after watching the entire movie where they said Ichabod.
Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one in this universe that thought so. So if you thought it was Ichabod too, please message me.
Keep stream skip at
She's
gmail.com. Keep stream skip at gmail.com.
So I'm not alone here.
Did you
guys.
think it was Ichabod? Okay.
It's a poll.
So Sleepy Hollow, 1999. All right. So the genre is fantasy horror mystery. The original writer of this whole concept was Washington Irving. Now, what's interesting is that a story about a headless horseman out there has been around since the Middle Ages between the Celtic and the Germans and so forth. So this is like the American adaptation for it. And there's a little bit of pull from actual things, like the Van Tassels actually were a family. There actually was, I believe, a German Hessian who ended up getting his head blown off by a cannonball. So there is an actual headless horseman of sorts that Washington Irving got some, I'm guessing he got inspiration for. But this story is written by Kevin Yeager and Andrew Kevin Walker, directed by none other than Tim Burton of Beetlejuice fame, and now Beetlejuice, and all sorts
And
of
many other things.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Edward Scissorhands.
Keep going.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Although it'd be interesting if he did redo A Wonderful Life, though.
Trying to think how.
I've never actually seen that movie.
I don't want to see it.
Isn't that the one where the guy's fucking suicidal the whole time?
Yeah, and then the angel's like, if you go away, all this, you know,
When
bad stuff
a
will
bell
happen.
rings, an angel gets his wing or something.
Yeah, because he committed, like he didn't have him do suicide.
Because it was like one of those, what if he didn't exist movies.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that's cheerful. Isn't that a Christmas movie?
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
Oh.
Well, the
Merry
ghost
Christmas,
stories and
don't
all that
kill
stuff.
yourself.
Oh, jeez. In before the trigger warning. So apparently, I didn't think I'd have to say that this episode is going to have suicidal thoughts.
I'm allowed to say it.
And it all started with Ichabod.
Ichabod.
Okay.
So
Sam,
it stars
Merry
a
Christmas.
ton of people: Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson, Michael Gambon of Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Casper Van Dien of Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers.
What are we doing right now?
Pulling over people in space. Jeffrey Jones of Other Infamy. We're not going to go there. And Richard Griffith and Ian McDermott, which Ian McDermott is famous for being Emperor Palpatine. You know.
Ah, that's where I
Okay.
recognized him. All right.
Michael Goff of being the butler and the Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
being oh my god, I forgot Alfred
Alfred to his
Jeez.
Batman.
Christopher Walken for being Christopher Walken.
Walking, yeah.
Lisa Marie is for being the girlfriend of Tim Burton at the time, and Christopher Lee, who's been in like Hammer horror films and a bunch of other stuff, and was not Sauron. What was the guy, the bad wizards and
The Voldemort?
no
What
Lord
are
of
you
the
talking
Rings?
about?
Smeagol?
Oh. No.
Signal?
Imagine Schmeagol being
Schmeagol.
voiced by Christopher Lee. I like the precious. Give me the ring.
Oh my god, why can't I think of his fucking name? The Dark Wizard.
Yeah. We'll call him
Oh, I know.
The one-
And he's in my head now.
Pat. So the Dark Wizard Pat in
The
Lord of
Dark
the Ring
Wizard.
in Lord of the Rings with Christopher Lee. My name is Pat. So he's in this,
Fitting.
but he's also like they have like 3 Darth Sith Lords in this movie.
Yeah.
So the guy who was the stunt, guy, the Headless Horseman when he was the stunt guy.
Oh, okay.
So I forgot his name. I forgot to write it down, but he plays Darth Maul. And he
Oh,
played that.
he's my
So
favorite
Christopher
Darth.
Lee was the other Darth Dooku, I guess. He's not actually Darth Dooku, it's Darth something, but Dooku.
Okay.
And then, we have Ian McDermott, who was the Palpatine. So
Yeah.
Darth Sidious.
The Sidious.
So a lot of Star Wars people in this, but a whole
Yeah,
lot of
that's
stars
cool.
in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a star-studded cast for real.
How, it was destined to be great. So,
Yeah.
all right. So the summary is this. If you've never seen Sleepy Hollow, wow. It's about a headless horseman taking people out of the town. But with this iteration, it's a mystery. And we're trying to figure out who
Dun, dun.
is at fault here, to who is commanding the headless horseman. And Johnny Depp plays an Ichabod Crane who is absolutely unattractive, except he's not. So
Right.
because Ichabod Crane is not so supposed to be, he's not supposed to be good looking.
He's supposed to be like tall and lanky and stuff like that. And
I mean,
Big
he was
nose.
like a school teacher.
Yeah.
He obviously is not a school teacher in this one.
Yeah. In this one, he's a detective from New York City. And
I was waiting for it.
and so he's investigating because he was kind of voluntold to do it, to try out his scientific methods that are shunned by all the people.
Yes.
So he takes those
Fuck
scientific methods up to the very religious Sleepy Hollow, which is a former Dutch settlement, which is why you have the Van Tassels and Van Garretts and all those guys. So
Oh.
Vanderbeeks. No, just
the
kidding.
Vanderbeeks.
The Vanderbeek.
Just kidding.
That's really good.
All right, now I want to see him in there. James Vanderbeek in Sleepy Hollow. I have nothing to do with this.
Just pops out of nowhere.
So good.
It'd be a good, if he wasn't such an asshole, Shia LaBeouf would be a good actual
yeah.
Ichabod Crane. He kind of has
He's
that
got that Ichabod.
Lankiness.
that
Ichabod.
awkwardness,
He's got
Right.
that Ichabod vibe.
Yeah. The only thing is when he goes to do like any kind of like emote to excitement or fear or whatever, I just feel like it just come off weird.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
He goes a little over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I did make a note that Johnny Depp's facial expressions are very strangely unique.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen another actor facially emote the way that he does. And it comes off wonderfully, but it is
Right.
so weirdly Johnny Depp. Like,
yeah.
that is it. I don't know how he does that.
Well, what's crazy is like how he can play someone who's brave or somebody who's silly or drunk or in this case fearful of the unknown and realizing his scientific methods are not
Right.
exactly hitting.
And like
Right.
with every little thing, like he was sitting there drinking the tea or whatever, and they were talking about the Headless Horseman, and there he is shaking his tea, and it's not like it didn't even look forced. It looked like real shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I mean, he's just an
wonderful.
amazing actor in general. But I a lot of people, like typecast him as the quirky whatever, but I feel like he does bring a certain difference to every role.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're all quirky for sure, but they have like that different. He always brings something a little different to each
Right.
one that just makes him so good.
I mean, look at when he played Whitey Bulger. That was where he played a villain, and he played it damn well. I mean, he was good.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You never saw that film?
No.
So it's called Black Mass. It's really good.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plays Irish mobster, real guy that actually existed, Whitey Bulger.
Cool.
So
All right. Well,
he inspired The Departed.
the Departed.
Jack
okay.
Nicholson took Whitey Bulger as his inspiration, and then they were like, "Hey,
Okay.
this really did good. What if we did like a, drama biographical thing on Whitey Bulger?"
Mm.
But the problem is, anytime you have Hollywood get involved, it's going to be more than
Right.
Mhm.
But still, it was a good movie.
Anywho.
Back to Sleepy Hollow. God damn it.
He's sleepy.
So eventually, after many heads are lost, and including a child's,
I know that was the saddest one.
Luckily, they didn't show that one.
yeah, they just dropped
knew
a
where to enter
cantaloupe on the
line.
floor.
It's Tim Burton. What?
They did not.
I was
Hold
talking.
on,
I was
go
like,
back,
special
rewind.
effects. They dropped a cantaloupe on the floor for the kid's head.
They put the kid's head in the bag, so you didn't see it at all.
No.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
But
Right.
so eventually, his scientific methods do actually ferret out the supernatural villain who ends up being the stepmother. So it's very Disney-esque for a Paramount
It is
film.
very Disney-esque.
Little
What does
stepmother.
Disney have against stepmothers?
I don't know, but in this case, it's a Paramount film. But Tim Burton was using the Disney version
Right.
as a
As a
big
muse.
inspiration. Yeah, exactly. So I think there was a little bit called, hey, let's make it a stepmother because that's kind of Disney. Yeah. So I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if he went that in depth with it because he is very much the artiste when it comes to his stuff.
No.
I mean, there's no mistaking a Tim Burton film when you see it.
Oh my god.
Right.
Just the
style-
lighting in this, I was like, yeah, that's fucking Tim Burton and Johnny Depp.
So
Both a staple. This one just didn't have Helena Bonham Carter.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he wasn't dating her
At the
then.
time.
Yeah, it was after Lisa Marie. And then Lisa
I
Marie and
see.
him broke up. And then it was Helen Bonham Carter. They broke up. And that's why you see Monica Bellucci and
But you know
Beetlejuice.
who's always consistent? Johnny Depp.
Oh,
Coincidence? I think
think
not.
they just married the wrong people. If only like two guys could get married and live with each other and love each other and understand each other.
That's blasphemous. Off with his head.
You know, that's probably like the curse of them both is that they're both straight, but they both love each other on a deep level. So they're like, well,
They were like, if I wasn't straight, man.
I guess we're
Yeah.
just really
You'd
good
be my-
friends.
They definitely did like the lighthouse, where they got really drunk together. And just like screamed in each other's faces.
I'm
but
sorry, I
were
just pictured
in total
Tim
love.
Burton masturbating at the light and then Johnny Depp
Depp.
dodging it.
Johnny Depp's like, what is he doing up there in the light? I want the light.
I want the
I want
light.
what he has.
Tim Burton's like, hark! And it ends with Johnny Depp.
So
Tim
so
Burton
Was
on a
that
leash.
his
So is-
orgasm sound?
so
His
is
heart?
Tim Burton the one farting?
Yeah, he's the
Oh,
one on the
no,
leash
that's right.
at the end,
Ugh.
going woof.
Oof. God.
My dog stepped on me. I'm sorry.
Oh, this has gone way off the rails. All right, so it ends with the stepmother being the one that had the skull of the headless horseman, who ended up being a witch. There's witches involved, and it's very, very cool. She's a twin, and she is like the evil twin because she started creating the conspiracy and making it look like she died when in fact she didn't. But eventually Johnny Depp does figure everything out, saving the love interest Christina Ricci, who is Katrina Van Tassel, because she's next in line. It's all about inheritance, and the witches didn't have anything, so she conspired to basically find a way to get all the money. But then Johnny Depp was able to get the skull off of her in a big old climactic fight and toss it back to Christopher Walken, who is the headless horseman, the German Hessian, and he ends up taking her as his bride back to hell. So funny enough about the love interest thing with Christina Ricci and Johnny Depp, he knew her for a very long time. And he's 39 in this, and he was like, yeah, I've known her since she was 9 years old. This is kind of odd. And
is that why they only ever hugged?
yeah, there's a very much, you could tell, like, it's not
He's
just
like,
acting. Like,
he's like, no.
Thank you.
Here,
Well,
darling.
at the time,
I'ma
she
just
was like,
hug
what,
you.
17, 18?
I don't know.
Well, she was like, it said like she was 19 when the movie came out. So we're
18.
we can assume that she's like 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes. Film it, put it, send it out.
Damn.
So, yeah, that's the thing. He was like, I don't know about this. But the horseback riding, all that stuff that you saw, all the special effects when he was, jumping off things or being dragged by whatever, that was all him. He did all his own stunts for this. So when Johnny Depp, even when he hit the ground, they gave him like this, I guess, protective clothing that was equivalent to bullet-resistant Kevlar or whatever, so he can actually be drugged behind the carriage. Did all that.
Wow.
And so, I mentioned this before, not on here though, he adopted Gunpowder, who's also known as Goldeneye,
Aw.
the farty horse.
The horse.
The Tootsie baby.
Now, did he adopt the kid?
No.
Can he adopt me?
So, so yeah, you know what's interesting about this film too is AFI, American Film Institute, in 2001 named it their one of the top 400 like heart-pounding American movies.
Wow. Now, how much did like the box office and how much?
Glad you asked, because that was my next thing. Its budget was $100 million. A lot of the writing back and forth in that big chase scene and everything, that's all stages. That's all fake forest.
Wow.
Which is incredible because you
Right.
never would have known.
Well, what's funny is neither did the birds, because they started some of the bird sounds you hear in the movie are real birds, because they decided to fly inside the stage set
Oh my god!
and start making a bunch of nests and everything. So they're like, by the time the film ended for shooting, they're like, oh, well, how are we going to do this? Because the
Guess-
trees are fake, but
Right.
it's all inside of a soundstage.
Guess we got some birds.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah. So 100 million, but 206 million profit.
Wow.
So, well, I say gross, not profit, gross.
Wow.
So we don't know what their advertising budget was, because that always plays a factor. You only know how much the movie costs, and you have advertising and
Right,
distribution.
right.
That eats into the budget, and eventually you have whatever the profit is, which they don't really talk about too much. But at least we know what it grossed. And yeah, it's at 206.
Damn.
All right, so let's take it away. Screenplay.
New York City. Sorry, that's the voice I heard when you said that.
What did you rank it?
I went with an 8. I thought it was really good. I liked a lot of the lines in it. Like, I thought it was really funny at certain points. I liked. I wrote down a couple of lines that I thought were very interesting themes throughout, like the murdered behind a mask of righteousness, in reference to his mom being murdered by the church for being a witch and whatnot. I found that, especially for 1999, like, oh shit, going after church like that? All right, let's do it. And then I really like the 2 lines between the kid and Johnny Depp's character, Ichabod, of course. where he's like,
See?
"You're bewitched by reason," and he said, "I'm beaten with it." I really
Oh, yeah.
liked that. That kind of stuck with me. I was like, "Damn,
I'm
that's
beaten by it.
really good."
I also liked the truth is not always appearance.
Yeah. There were some really good one-liners, I feel like, throughout the film that
Right.
kind of stuck with me. And storyline, I feel like, was really well done. Everything flowed really well. I just feel like, it was also a little predictable at certain times and whatnot. It was, just an easy-to-follow film, but I enjoyed it nonetheless.
I gave it an 8 as well because I saw Juliana's. No, just kidding. No, I gave it an 8. Again, it was a little predictable, but then at the same time, it wasn't, depending on the thing and just, just things.
I gave it a 10. 'Cause I thought, here's why. Everything, although, yeah, you can predict how it's kind of going. I love the way they mixed in the lines, the way they wrote them, the way the progression of the story was very, very well done.
The comedy was good.
Yeah, the comedy was struck really
Everyone
well.
told you.
No, you don't understand. It's real.
Yeah.
But that's why you're here.
I like the I don't know what's really, there's nothing really to me that's wrong with it, because even the callbacks and the irony of the fact that his mother was a witch and that was his favorite person growing up, and then he ends up with the love interest also being a witch.
Oh, okay.
And then the innocence between he seeing the witch and his own mother, which is why he has superstitions kind of subtly put in there, but also why he's so into science, because he was told to, like, you can't be about that. So he did the exact opposite.
Did they ever explain the thing about his hands?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the, remember the little kid jumped up
when the mom
and went,
came out of the torture chamber and he like backed up and he like hit his hands on the pointy things.
yeah,
The
The other
interrogation
torture,
chair.
yeah.
Oh.
I did like the position he fell in of, his mom was convicted of being a witch and murdered, for it. And then who was his number one suspect, at the end of it was the witch.
Mm-hmm.
And not, the real witch. Well, I guess they were all real witches, but like the good witch, he was like,
Right.
Yeah, two good
I'm suspicious of her.
Yeah.
And also the creepy bitch witch. So when really it was the stepmother.
Yeah.
I think maybe I marked it down because they had pulled that bird reference consistently throughout the movie, and I'm still a little confused on it. Did I miss that? Did I miss the conclusion to the bird reference? I because he had the bird being uncaged throughout the entire movie, like from the beginning when he literally uncaged the bird.
Yeah.
And then they had the I think I missed
So
the bow tie at the end of how that
it was the
was
stepmother.
relevant.
It's like you didn't realize the stepmother may have been the twin. The
Right.
fact that the appearances are not what it may seem when they're moving, but when they're still, you can tell there's a cage, there's a bird. So I'm thinking that
Oh, so when she's not doing her trickery, then you can definitely tell it's the other twin.
well, yeah, but that also that she is the other twin, because it's like, okay, is that the other witch? You don't realize she's a witch. You think she's just conspiring. Even when she's cutting her hand,
Right.
you don't think she's a witch. You think she's just like this, somehow maybe involved, probably involved at that point, to the point where it's like not a witchcraft, but she unburied the head or whatever.
right.
Also, I kept on thinking maybe they were doing something with like a red herring, like, oh, are you following the right one? So
See,
red bird, red
okay,
herring.
that would be fine.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like, just when she died, like, supposedly a headman horseman killed her,
And maybe that's him figuring it out, is him realizing it was a red herring.
right.
Oh, yeah, appearances are not what they seem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like that kind of got lost on me throughout the film. Like, I liked it. I really did. Like, I
Yeah.
knew they were trying to tie it together with something, but I think the ending of it, the final...
Just a lot of the
I just kind of-
symbolism kind of got to
that
me.
specifically got lost on me. But
And
otherwise,
apparently
very
the
good.
name, too.
That name is just really difficult.
I just thought of Nadia from What We Do in the Shadows with Goff, Jeff,
Jeff.
or whatever. Yef. Can't get the name.
All right, Nicholas, direction.
I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 10.
Yeah.
Tim Burton, masterpiece. You
mean-
did it, bud.
Yeah.
It was just done really well.
Yeah.
I loved every move that he had them make, every lighting decision, sound
Right.
decision,
Yeah.
all of it. Like, damn, just so good.
Right.
What about acting?
Acting, I gave it a 10, especially when, like I talked earlier about like the shaking when, he really needed to do that. Like even with the gun, like it was shaking, like it was real, like he was shaking,
Oh, yeah.
not that he was faking shaking. Like, you can tell on
Faking
some of the
shaking.
thing. Faking shaking.
What's fake and shaking? Wait.
So, and just all the other intricacies too, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
I gave it an 8 because I think a lot of the main leads were really good. I think maybe some of the side actors definitely could have stepped up a little bit. Like all of the murder victims, not necessarily when they were being murdered, but like, I don't know, they were kind of hard to distinguish because they didn't really have much going for them that was different than the other. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like
didn't
all
seem
those
unique.
white men in the fucking
Yeah.
white ass beard
Well,
hair shit.
The one guy that I keep on thinking about is, this talisman will save me. And then he gets his head cut off.
Oh, Mr. Dursley.
My talisman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that boy again. So,
What was your rating, Nick?
I gave it a 9 out of 10. Same thing. Didn't think it was too, there's some parts where it's like, they could have been more diversified in the acting between the folks. I think they were diverse and to a point, but then it started to blend together a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, very, very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say, moving right into cinematography by Emmanuel Lubzicki. Ugh, Lubsky.
It wouldn't be a keep stream skip without a name.
Well, the bad part is, it's like, I know like Polish names and so on, but I'm like, Lubsky or Lubsky
I love
or
that
Lubsky. I don't know.
Sam and I just said at the same time without a name, and then we just stopped. Without a name.
Well, you don't need to say any more after that.
Yeah. But yeah, he got, Tim Burton wanted to hire him on to do Sleepy Hollow after he saw Great Expectations. And about, I think it was 1998. And he's like, man, I got to get this guy. He's got to do this. And there was some guest cinematographer for one shot, but otherwise he did pretty much everything. And I think he did a phenomenal job.
Amazing. He
I
knocked it
loved
out of the park.
There wasn't, it wasn't like superbly, it wasn't like about creative shots. Here's the thing. And that's the only thing you can't really, I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's all very much traditional shots, but
they were just done
storybook wise. It's so
right.
good.
And it was done so
Yeah.
crisply. Like everything that happened like was for a purpose and it was done really well. Like I don't know why, but that moment of where he was like, here's the book that you need to worry about, and then bam.
Yeah.
And then it was like the immediate
Right.
shot of the Holy Bible and then back to I don't know, like that the shots were just done so crisp and so I don't know.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
very
to
good.
editing as well.
Well,
but-
and the colorizing of it, originally it was supposed to be a black and white concept, and then they were going to shoot
Right.
it in traditional format. And then they said, oh, we can't do that. It's not working out. So let's just go ahead and try to figure this out. And that's when he comes in and says, hey, I got it. We're going to wash it out as much as possible. So if you look at it, it almost looks like it's colorized.
right.
Right.
And
but it's not.
yeah, the only
Damn,
time
that's
they
cool as
really
shit.
put in a ton of color was red. So
Right.
if it was blood or the cardinal,
I
red.
noticed that, and that was so cool. That was really good.
Yeah, that was all them being like, how can we make it as black and white as possible? And this is how they did it. So I really appreciate that because you're talking about old celluloid and then doing that coloration with lighting first, getting as close as possible,
Yeah.
and then finishing it up with some tuning here and there with
Damn.
whatever they were using back then.
That's really good. Because I even made a note. I said that the lighting was really good. Especially, I want to point out the scene where that family was getting murdered with the little lights that were going around.
Oh, yeah,
And
the-
everything
Oh, yeah.
was specifically lit up in such a purposeful way. Like the shots of the faces being in like whoosh fear, and then whoosh
Right.
there was the axe, and then the shadow of the axe across the wall. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
these are really good shots.
So it was almost like,
A lot of
okay, ready?
creativity.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, right? Like, it was just so well done. I
Yeah,
really
you know
liked
what?
it.
Very
Those
well
were the-
orchestrated.
Yeah, I said there wasn't a lot of creativity, but when you reminded me of the shots on the kills,
Yeah,
they were
they
good.
were really good.
really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I gave it a 10 out of 10 for that.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Nice. And then editing, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was
Yes.
paced wonderfully. I
Yes.
thought it was everything
Yeah.
was cut just right. There wasn't something that was cut too soon or too long.
Right.
Yeah.
And it really flowed really well together. And there wasn't a lot of extra stuff either. You get some of those films that it's like, why the hell are you editing, like putting that in there? But like
Yeah.
everything was purposeful.
Yeah, and it was really well done. I
Very
also
cool.
gave it 10 out of 10.
Special effects, I gave an 8 out of 10.
Same.
I give it 8 out of 10 as well.
Yeah,
Ooh.
everything was great. It was just Christopher Walken's teeth at the end scene is
Yeah.
very fake.
Very fake.
And some of the CG didn't age too well when they're going
one-
back in the hell portal.
Yeah, the one with the witch when he was sitting there with the boy and they were talking like, the witch thing and then the eyes came
The
out and stuff
eyes,
like
The
yeah,
snake and
that
the
was
tongue.
very Tim Burton-esque.
Yeah.
Like very Beetlejuice, which, hey, it marks the certain time period and
Right.
director. I think that's kind of fun about Tim Burton is that his special effects even mark
his-
him as a director.
Oh, yeah.
like his specific style too. Like I don't
Right.
see any of there's no way to kind of produce that if you're not Tim Burton.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
if you were, you would be accused of that's very Tim Burton-esque, So, like,
Well, that's the thing. Like, Beetlejuice, the first one, I give 10 out of 10 for special effects because of the style choices were meant to be that way.
right.
It's not that it was like, yeah, we just did this and hopefully it looks real. It's like, no, I didn't mean it to look kind of real. I wanted it to be very weird, very odd.
Very goofy.
Yeah. And even when he's
Very
chopping
demure.
the tree of death or whatever.
Oh my God.
So he put,
yeah.
of course, he had like somebody squirting Johnny Depp in the face with blood as
Love
he's
it.
doing that.
Right.
So that way
Yeah.
he'd get messed up.
Well, and then I also like when Ichabod was opening, like slamming the Bible shut at that one scene when he's like writing his little list or whatever, like just the dust like that.
Oh,
kind of-
yeah. Good
Yeah,
point.
just like simple
and it's
shit.
just like again those little teeny tiny things.
that
like
really makes it. Yeah.
Right.
No, I gave it an 8 out of 10 for basically the same reasons. So good.
Nice. So overall, what'd you guys give it?
9,
9.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. And I said, keep it.
I'd keep it for Halloween season.
I would keep it as well.
Yeah.
This was my first time watching it. I really liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing. I forgot to mention where you can find this film. You can find it on Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and MGM Plus as of October
Plus.
28th. When we come back, we'll be doing tarot, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
tarot.
All right.
I haven't seen it. Have you guys?
Nope.
No.
All right. Well, when we come back, you're going to get a fresh take about tarot. Stay tuned. All right. And we're back with the next movie, which Samantha picked, which is Tarot.
Tarot.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out something that we've never watched before, none of us.
Yeah.
And tarot popped up and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Listen.
fun little ditty bopper. You can find this streaming on Netflix. It was came out in 2024. It's, of course, a horror genre. Who you got for writer, director, actors there, Samantha?
All right. Writers Spencer Cohen, Anna Hallberg, and it says, and others.
And others.
Yeah. We can kind of see that.
You know what we're going to have to do? Because there is a cadence you do sometimes, Juliana, that sounds like you're about to go in a Sweaty Balls voice. And now I want to do a Sweaty Balls episode of hey, this movie inspired dish is a muffin. Oh, yes, this muffin is good.
To be so super for real. I don't know where Sweaty Balls comes from.
Oh, it's an SNL skit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's very funny that I keep going into that cadence because I don't know.
Oh,
what that's
I gotta
from.
show you. Okay, well,
All right, yeah.
All right,
after this.
So the genre is horror, slasher, supernatural, has all those elements. The director is Spencer Cohen and Anna Halberg.
It's the same as the
and-
writers.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Writers, directors.
Writer,
Uh-huh.
director.
Yeah. And
Cool.
then the actors Jacob Batalon, Bandika.
Battalion?
Are you talking about the one, Babylon?
What?
What?
The actors?
Yeah. Jacob Batalon?
Yes. Did I put that wrong?
Batalon?
Did I say it?
Batalent?
wrong?
Batalon? I
Batalon.
think that's how you say it.
Ichabod.
I don't know. You're the one. That's Ned from the Spider-Man movies, right?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I
Yeah,
don't
the one
know.
that's bald with the beanie from the movie. The one that
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
Ned.
yeah.
That's why I kept calling him
Oh
Ned.
my god, that's right. I totally
Yeah.
didn't catch that because
He's the man in the chair.
he's an older man now.
Is he?
well, young
He
man.
looks exactly the same to me.
Well, you grew up together.
I guess so. But yeah, that one's that guy.
Oh, okay.
Spooderman's
So
friend.
Ned from Spider-Man, continue. And the rest of them.
plays the funny
Yeah,
guy
and the rest
who does
of them. I
weed.
don't think
Yeah.
I've seen any of them in anything else.
I don't think so either.
And that's probably for a good reason.
Yeah.
So, like, right away, you were saying Juliana looked like Cabin in the
Cabin in
Woods.
the Woods.
And the fact they had the stereotypes sort of kind of in
Sort of
there.
kind of with it, right?
Yeah.
Like the couple that's kind of
On the
outs. Right. You got the
Yeah.
weed smoker.
You got the campfire, the cabin, like isolated cabin in the woods.
Right.
Isolated mansion in the woods.
Right. However, they did not do a good job of establishing any of the characters.
Anybody.
Any single one of them.
Like, I could hardly even, I don't even know half their names.
I don't think I know a single name.
Well,
I know Paige.
Which one is Paige?
The-
Jacob?
No,
Virgo.
The bald one?
the Virgo. The one that got hanged.
The Virgo. No, that's not the Virgo.
No. The Virgo was the magician.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was the magician.
See? Okay. Who the fuck are
Again.
these people?
Again, very hard
Who
to
knows?
figure out who anybody is. There was no backstories, so like you really didn't
It was
know
so minimal.
Yeah.
It was
why they were even. I mean, like other than
Well,
that, it was somebody's birthday.
Let's
Alright.
explain the story because we're already in screenplay,
Yeah.
obviously. But
We're
All
there.
right, so
Plot.
so a bunch of friends are coming together after this birthday party thing.
It's a
And they did an
birthday.
Airbnb mansion, which
Yeah.
apparently is a thing for Gen Z because
Yeah.
like this is the second horror film that has this concept in
Are you
there.
talking about Barbarian?
No,
Oh.
that's not a good be. No, not that kind
Oh,
of
not
Airbnb. Like
Airbnb.
really nice Airbnb. Like
Abigail?
they rent. Yeah, something like that. So, but that's obviously not what they rented.
Right.
This is the whole concept was they rented this place to party. We just saw a horror
For
film
somebody's
before
birthday.
this. Yeah, and was that a birthday too? Was that a birthday too? That one, the one we watched. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, interesting concept
knows?
that thing, but that's a whole other film. But yeah, like they rent this place out and they're kind of going around and looking at all these different old objects, vis-a-vis like like
Very Cabin in the Woods style, looking at a bunch of random shit. And
Right,
it's
they
like,
go- they-
look at this divination
Yep.
cloak. Oh,
they go
look
down.
at this.
Well, they go first. They break into a room that says
that has
do
a
not
fucking,
enter.
like a padlock on it. Also, I don't know how they
They're a
broke
bunch of-
into it.
He
rule
kicked it.
breakers.
Fucking
That's why.
delinquents.
They're a
well,
bunch
he
of
kicked
rule
the door and
breakers.
broke it. I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bunch
and
of pieces of shit.
so eventually
That's our
they're-
protagonist too.
Yeah.
Fucking teenagers.
even though, and then so they're looking through the things and they find this box that's like, and then somebody opens it and they're like, oh,
What's
tarot
this?
cards. And then the one girl was like, oh, I know how to read.
I read tarot. My name's Lisa.
I
read
It's
tarot.
not Lisa. What the hell? Haley. That's what her name was.
I don't know
Chicken
how
hat
you
was
remember
too
her
much.
name.
It's because I wrote it down.
I predict you're going to be wearing a chicken hat. And,
Wow.
I don't know
made
how
it
you
more
remember her
interesting.
name, but
That's a
had it
reference from
written
the
down.
Smokers episode.
All right. So she reads all the people's tarot
tarot readings.
Or
Right.
Fortune
Very
500.
Final Destination style.
Yeah, you're gonna die like this. You're gonna die like that, and you're gonna die like this.
But
Right.
like in every reading, there was like a way that they could get out of it too, though. So if they would have actually listened to her and not been so
See, I disagree. Poor train guy.
idiotic,
What way could he have gone?
Right. There's no
Where
way.
could he have gone to have escaped what happened to him in that situation? Because
Yeah,
he
'cause
wasn't supposed to follow. He didn't.
Right.
Woo.
He ran away, but he went into
Right.
a restricted area
I mean,
because that was the only door to leave.
Right.
But
Like,
was they talking about the person that things light or the exit sign light?
Yeah,
I
his
think it
got
didn't matter.
fucked.
I don't
Like, how
think-
can you get out of
he
it
was
because
really
it's so
fucked.
pitch dark, black, out in the thing because it
Right.
turned off all the lights.
Right.
But
There's
then-
the one bitch who left the car full of people to fucking run across the bridge by herself. Like, yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking
And of
deserve it
course,
at that point.
And they of course were like, "Don't run, don't run." She's like,
peace. I'm a run.
And
Yeah,
then
that's how she
the
gets
guy,
the rope around her neck.
Yeah.
right? And then the guy in the fool thing, and then that
With
was
the elevator.
Quit
stupid.
clowning around.
So But
so stupid
Can
how
we
they
talk-
explain that.
Before any of that, though, can we talk about? So they're in this creepy old house. She reads all of their tarot. Then they leave, and boom, wild ass title screen of just random
Oh, yeah.
fucking
So like 17
witchy
That's already been
bullshit.
established.
It's already been
17
established.
minutes into the film.
You're watching tarot.
You're watching tarot.
And then it
was
breaks
like a
in like
gentle tarot,
Acorn.
and then it's like rah, 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 rah,
Yeah.
spooky shit. Tarot.
like,
and then back to normal.
I feel like they got a lot of inspiration. So the slam titles can be like Evil Dead or Insidious. They did slam titles like that.
Right, but they did, but those didn't even put the title in the beginning because there was a title.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to get at is if you got that and then you get the Cabin in the Woods, that's inspired.
yeah.
It seems like. And then you have the Final Destination type of thing. That seems like it was inspired. And then you have like a 13's Ghost thing through the tarot. That seems
Right.
inspired. It's like they got a bunch
Final
of inspirational stuff.
Destination.
And then just try to put it all together into
Yeah.
one
right,
thing.
and
Yeah.
they did it horribly.
I don't know about horrible, but
Okay.
Mm.
I don't think it's horrible.
So
Mm.
I don't think it's great.
I
don't
think
it's
certain
horrible.
aspects were really good.
It's,
So-
it's a hot dog.
all that shit
It's not,
happened.
it's not the
Well,
best
blah,
thing,
blah,
but it's okay.
blah.
It's good.
I love
And
hot dogs. How dare you?
then the movie ends with a very
She's trying to finish the summary.
uncharacteristic way of ending a movie.
We're talking about hot dogs. What she's
listen, lady. Listen, lady. Let us talk
Hey,
about hot dogs.
I'm just trying to act like those actors who were listening to anything that was being said.
We just want to talk about hot dogs, man. I find them delicious. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so
keep streams, skip hot
back
dog.
to the budget because I really want to see your reactions. when you
Okay,
sign up for this.
okay, budget.
All right, so budget was 8.3 million.
Okay.
Okay, and what it
Wow.
grossed worldwide? Take a guess.
It had to have flopped.
No, I'm gonna say it made 120 million.
What?
What is your final
I don't know.
answer?
It flopped. I think it flopped.
Well, it only made like 49 million.
Only. Holy shit,
So it made its
though.
budget.
So not 100.
No,
Well-
but still,
Million.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when this came out, like it had okay advertisement, but I remember people saying it wasn't that good. So I don't know.
I mean, I
how it
think a lot of
got.
people were just drawn to the movie to go see it because it, I mean, like if you
Didn't
think
have
about
competition.
it, like the,
I guess,
and the
yeah.
trailer, because it like opened up in May. So,
Yeah,
and the
first Omen in
trailer,
this.
and honestly, like the trailer looked pretty good. Like but they literally
Yeah.
just took the good stuff.
Well, I mean,
Well,
same thing happened to First Omen. The First Omen came around that time, and then you had this one, and then really nothing else, I don't think.
Right. So let's, I guess, get into the logistics of all this stuff.
I'd be curious to see what y'all rated screenplay, please.
1,000.
Wow. Mine is so close. Mine is a 1.
No, you
Yeah.
gave it a 1?
Yeah, for real.
Wow.
I
Wow.
loathed this screenplay.
I thought it was an original idea. I was like,
Really?
oh, okay.
Well, okay. I get the tarot itself being original, everything else. The fact that
The
it
astrology?
reminded me of, well, first of all, the astrology just being like, all right. But everything else being like a typical teenage whatever.
Yeah.
But it also being reminiscent of so many other fucking films, like Cabin in the Woods, like completely
Yeah.
taking shit from other movies. The fact that we get really, in my opinion, super lame kills. I'm so easy to scare. The fact that none of this actually scared me. Not a single fucking
first one kind of
bit
Look,
of it.
there was a lot of air compressor, like the air compressor going on, and then like just spurting blood against the window.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't even cool kills or anything
What
like
was
that.
this rated?
PG-13.
Ah,
makes
there it is.
fucking sense.
There it is.
There
Actually,
was-
that was pretty good for PG-13 gore, though.
But at the same time, like you have movies like Krampus that are highly rated, and like
See,
even their kills were like a lot better than this.
but
shit.
it had a story behind it. I didn't give a shit about any
Yeah.
of the characters whatsoever, and I blame storyline for that. You can't have a bunch of kills, and I don't
Right.
care
Yeah.
a single bit about any of their characters.
Right. I gave it a 4 because of the original idea of the tarot reading and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But other than that, there was no backstory. Like,
No,
who the fuck are these people? What, like you said, why the fuck do I care about them
right?
if they live or die?
Like
kill them
and
all.
It was
They're
just,
Americans, okay?
Oh,
It was
okay.
just so fast paced too. Like it jumped right into the killings, which, like certain films do that. I feel like if I were to watch a Final Destination movie, I cared more about those characters
Right.
than I did the characters of this film, which I
Because
feel like is a wild statement.
Yeah, I mean, you could really, like when you're writing something like this, you got to really think about the audience and if they're invested into the characters.
Right.
Because like when they were getting their stuff read, you were like, I mean, like at least I was like, oh, okay. I don't know who the hell these are. They're going to like have a little more storyline before they get killed. No. They got the car ride and then listen to a murder podcast.
Which, I'm sorry, Bird Box did the whole car system trope better. Like with the car system being like beep 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 on this side, beep beep on this side. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I never saw
No,
Bird Box.
We
You've never seen Bird Box?
No.
No.
Oh shit. All right. Well, stay tuned for that shit. That's good. That's good shit. But I also felt like they did a lot of like telling and not showing
Yeah.
is the other thing as well. Like the whole background with the tarot lady, they told us everything. We
Right.
didn't get a whole show on her depth as a villain or a
Right.
antagonist
Was
in
she
the
a villain?
storyline. Right. We were just told her story. I feel like that was so lame.
Right. Like,
This is everything that happened.
I mean, tell a story, but you don't have to tell us a story.
Right.
In other words,
Show, not
discover the story.
tell.
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
Show us.
Instead of just going to somebody and then be like, all right, this is all that I found.
Yeah. Let's
Right.
find this
Here's the
random old
Wikipedia
lady.
page. You didn't have
Yeah.
to. I actually
It
put
was
it
a
on
very
there.
Twilight way of telling us.
That's actually true. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Except even Twilight didn't have that old lady just come over and tell us the entire backstory of the Cullen
I know. And then, like, all of
family.
a sudden, like,
They also
then they're like,
sparkle.
oh, well, we're going to do that.
I know,
never
gay,
knew
right?
that. Ooh.
All right, Nick, what did you give it?
I mean, the thing I gave it points for being original. Of like, how do you make tarot cards scary and attach monsters to them? So with that, I gave it a 6 because at least it's like, all right, it's empty calories. It's fun. It's still there. I mean, here's the thing though, that it has more plot and development than Terrifier, and that thing is doing bananas. So it's just
I mean,
That
that's
is true.
sometimes you
fair.
want to have like empty whatever, and this is kind of an empty horror film where it's like, all right, it's something to throw on, it's fun, it's whatever. That's kind of how I feel about Terrifier. That's why anytime someone says, oh, Terrifier is a masterpiece, woo, I'm like, no, I mean, it's fun, but don't elevate it to where it's not that.
Yeah.
But I have a funny feeling I'll be in the minority just from everybody jumping on that bandwagon. So it's so true though.
I feel like it was very reminiscent of did you guys ever watch that Escape Room horror movie?
No.
Okay, they put all of their budget into the setting, into like the aesthetic of it, which is way fucking cool. And I think that's what this movie did. Like the tarot itself, like all of the beings and characters, I definitely felt very Krampus style from them. Like they were
Right.
really
Fun.
cool and fun and unique.
Yeah.
However, having no storyline to back them up
Right.
really just let them fall flat for me.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I feel like too, if we knew a little more about the cards other than what they told us, you know, then it would have been a lot better too. Like, where the fuck did they come from?
Right.
Why are they just there?
And yeah, I feel like we were left without a little bit of mystery. You
Yeah.
know, like
No,
giving
that's
us
true.
that
Yeah,
entire
there's no
backstory.
mystery.
There was
There's
no
no
mystery
discovering.
to where
Yeah.
these tarot people came from.
Yeah.
Right.
Even the breakup was like immediately everybody. knew.
Right. Everybody
Like,
knew.
there's no
It was
discovery
like,
at all.
Right.
Yeah, that's where it's like, ugh, have some. Don't spoon feed it.
Show, don't tell.
All right, so direction. What do you guys give it?
I rated it a little bit higher. I said a 3 because again,
God, you're like close to baby or not baby cat, but
okay. I will say I did rate certain things really high versus where I'm rating it.
you just
It's
hate the
kinda
writing
low.
and the direction.
The
It's like,
writing and directing.
who
I
were the
found
two
shit.
again?
Yeah, it's the same people. I
Yeah.
just don't think their story flowed as well as it should have, especially with I think they had a great idea.
Mhm.
I think on in their brains, wonderful idea.
It just didn't translate.
It did not
to-
translate well.
Yeah, I give it a 2 because
Wow,
it
I'm
literally.
I'm on my own island here.
Like, it literally was painstakingly hard to watch the direction of the and I just feel like it didn't go too well.
Yeah. I felt
I
like it
can't
was
even
very
say it.
forced, very typical
There you go.
storyline of
You're my voice.
yeah, choke down this typical storyline shit with our little twist on it, you know.
Right, and I feel like
We
there was
gave it a little twist. Eat it.
and like the characters, I don't feel like were push. How can I not?
You did not do your voice warm ups.
Push.
Let me tell you about my push. This is Lash LaRue.
I don't think they got
Back
to their
from the
limits
dead.
that they could have gotten to.
I'm trying to think
Can you
of
say that
what-
again? No, it's good.
Like,
I'm trying- that's so funny.
push, little one, push.
pushed to their limits.
Push.
Just having trouble saying that word. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
That's so funny. I love it. But yes, I agree. What did you rate it?
I rated it like 8. It was fine. It
Wow.
didn't. I mean, everything flowed. The only thing I didn't like, and this is going to be dinged on the next part, but I mean, they did exactly what they came to do. As far as I want to film this, I want to do that. I like that some of the creativity with. I guess you could say a little bit of a risk taking, but they also had a lot of cliches like hello, is anybody there?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're alone in your own apartment. Why are you saying hello like you are familiar with the thing that's on the other side?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. Is someone trying to prank me? Does that make sense to you right now?
Are you wearing a
Right.
chicken hat?
Yeah. It's like, and the way that I gotta admit the latter. I mean, and then here's the other thing. How in the hell did he get a PG-13 rating with those kills? Like, I was kind of like, I thought it was a light R.
I literally wrote lame kills.
Well, they could be lame, but they still showed enough gore where I was like, oh.
Did they though? They didn't show
Felt like
like
it.
any blood or
What do you mean? The
any
blood went
show-
across the subway.
Yeah,
and then
the
the
one
saw,
time.
the
But they
saw.
didn't. But
Was
they
there any
didn't-
blood with the saw?
Yeah,
though?
yeah.
I didn't see any.
When she first like screamed bloody murder, it came back out when it was all bloody.
But
oh, I
like,
didn't see that.
it
And
didn't.
then they had sound effects of blood when they moved it.
But it could have been so much more. And
yeah,
I don't know.
PG-13.
right. But that's the thing. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense because I was like, ooh.
Yeah, because Krampus was PG-13, and you don't see like all the screen, like all the kills are off screen.
Yeah, you don't see any
way more
kills.
gruesome to me.
Yeah, because, well, and I feel like too, like when they were being killed, there wasn't too much action from them. You know what I mean? Like the one girl, like trying, like slowly going across, like not even being like yelling and screaming and fucking
The first kill,
right.
Yeah, like she just laid there.
Oh, while she's getting like just
Yeah.
slammed with the ladder
Right.
in the back, which
Right.
is, I'm like, man, that's brutal. To be like slowly killed by organ crushing,
I guess.
but
Womp
But
womp.
again, like where's the screaming and like, oh my god, and you can make something.
The sense of urgency
like-
that like you're gonna die. you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
I feel like their kills were really off because I also felt like certain kills were like elongated for no purpose. Like there were a lot of just like the lantern on the train kill like went on too long. You know, like too many like
I'm gonna get
and
killed.
it was like, all right,
Boogity,
all right.
boogity, boogity.
I don't give a shit anymore. Just kill him.
So acting, would you guys give it?
I think I just trashed this movie.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4 too.
I gave it like well.
Again,
The line delivery was flat on a lot of occasions,
It really
so I gave it a
was.
6.
yeah, I wasn't invested in the characters
At all.
at all. The line delivery, like Nick just said, was very flat. Was kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm just reading my lines.
Right. I feel like
Oh no,
any
we're about to
writing
die.
could be elevated by a good actor. You know, like any
Right.
type of writing could be elevated. Nobody did that for me. The writing was shit, and the actors didn't really do much with it.
You know, I'm gonna have to downgrade direction to 7 because I realized the tone was off from in certain places. It'd be funny in one place and then not funny in another, kind of like Last House on the Left.
Yeah,
It's like serious, funny.
Right, if you're
serious,
gonna
serious,
be-
funny. You know,
right.
You got to do it a certain way. Cabin in the Woods did it really fucking great. If you're going to be funny
Right,
in certain
and then-
areas, be funny in certain areas, and then be serious in others.
And then again,
Yeah.
like going back to Krampus, like the kill of the gingerbread man in the kitchen. That
oh my
was
god,
comedic,
that was super comedic, but,
but
also
at the
The
same
dog
time,
usage.
it was really serious.
yeah, the dog. Oh.
You know,
Yeah,
and they did it in a way that was just like.
they did it
But
very well.
But
This
here,
movie-
it was just
Mm.
like, you know.
I don't know what that's the thing. I don't know what they were going for. I don't know if they were trying to be serious, if they were trying to be funny.
Well, it wasn't labeled anywhere as comedic, so.
Well, then
I think they
that's
were trying to be
unfortunate for
serious.
them.
yeah, because there is funny part. I mean, they intentionally made it funny, especially at the end.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure on that one at least.
Although that was
Intentional.
maybe the most horrible thing.
That
Yeah,
was
that
the
just-
shittiest thing.
That was so
ever.
Here
bad.
comes the fool, you
Here
know, and
comes
he's
the
he's
fool.
alive
He's
because of his
alive. And it was
roommate
like,
opening the elevator just at the
wow.
right time.
Right,
Okay.
where nobody was
What?
around.
Yeah.
Literally. We don't even
Literally.
see his roommate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all off screen. It's probably like the director just going, "Hey, man," and that's it.
And
Wouldn't
he's
it
like
be so
crouched
funny?
in
Yeah.
the elevator being
It's
like,
not. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen for a character to come back.
So stupid.
There's a movie where a guy ate a grenade and then he comes back wearing just a couple of casts, like nothing happened. It was
See,
so
I don't
bad.
know. I feel like in a horror film, you got to do it right. You got to
Yeah.
do it like the high. Again, they did it like Cabin in the Woods, but they did it
Right.
wrong. The high character dies off screen, right?
Mhm.
But then he comes back all heroic and in an awesome fashion. Whereas this motherfucker comes back, he's like, I'm driving a car. Oh, I actually survived because my roommate saved me.
And then they
by
kind of
opening
gave you
the
this
elevator."
false impression like this is a fake happy ending, and then it actually was
And then
the
they
happy
actually
ending.
Right.
showed that, and like it was so fucking weird.
Like at
Yeah.
first, and then at
Why
first
would they
we were
do
like,
that?
"Oh, it's just fake. Where's the twist? Where's the twist?" And then it just ended like, "Haha!" End of the movie, and we're like, "What the?"
Well, because
fuck?
they ended it, and then they went back, and it was like, oh, okay, maybe they're gonna retcon that, and this is actually the end. No, it made it worse. It's worse.
Yeah.
So, what about cinematography?
I gave it a 6.
Okay, that's actually where I rated it the highest.
Okay, good, because I was
I
like
gave
the
it a
coloration
10.
was a really good. Like
I
there's
gave
a lot
it
of
a
good.
10. There were some amazing shots in this film. Like I thought, like some of the shots were incredibly unique. I named it from the start with the candle and like in lighting shots that they did at the beginning, or like when she's in the magician's box and you get those many different angles of her in the box, and then the keyhole, and then when it gets cut in half, and like the separation of getting to see everybody
Yeah.
while the box, like so many really great shots.
Okay,
I thought cinematography was
All right,
was
that's good,
probably
'cause I was
the
like,
only
come
good
on, that thing was
about
good.
this. Again, reminiscent of the escape room movie that
Yeah.
y'all have not seen, where the setting was the only thing that was good in that.
so I gave that an 8. So
I
what?
go back and give it an 8.
Upon further review,
Well, like I was thinking about like the angles and stuff like that, but what I really didn't like was pretty much a train scene where it was like here and there and everywhere and not really cohesive enough.
See, that's where I docked it in editing.
so
I made it a little bit lower in editing, but I thought the shots themselves were really well done.
that dark scene where it was too dark for its own good,
Mm-hmm.
That's the scene. I was like, I see what they were trying to do. They put it. It looks like what they did is they put it in full light, and then they darkened it, and then made the one color still appear like this blue greenish color. And this is when they were like sliding over something to try to block the door. And it was just super, super dark. And I'm like, this is not.
Oh, yeah. In the very end.
Yeah. Like it just, I was like, man, that could have been lit better. Or at least colored better. But if he was responsible for his own, or she was responsible for her own coloration choices with that cinematography, because sometimes they'll hire a colorist, but still, that was the thing. I was like, no. All right, editing.
I gave it an 8. Again, I thought a lot of the shots were really well done. I did think kind of what Sam had said for cinematography, that some things were done just a little weird, and some things were edited too long than they should, like longer than they should have been.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 because either they were the scene, like it was too long or too short or not enough, or just, you know, like there, I didn't feel like there seemed to be a right amount that they had.
When the broke up couple kept on talking for the longest time, then you actually welcomed the monster.
Right. And then,
you're like,
yay.
You
know, like, again, just going back to the beginning, you know, more of a backstory, more of a, okay, let's, before we even get to the broach the subject of the tarot cards, let's like have them do a little more with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe a little more partying. Maybe they were all drunk. Who knows? I don't know.
Right. Again, give us more backstory of the characters for sure. I thought the elevator scene again was, I mean, there were definitely some edits that were really spooky, which is why I gave it an 8. But again, they went on too long. I was like, okay, we get it. Open the elevator.
Right. And
like, all right.
One of the good things was with the first one where she goes, you know, up to the attic and then back down, and then when she goes up again, like
it
it's
was
all
very
lit up,
hereditary style of whatever with the tarot card sitting right in front of her. I thought that was well done,
and I thought that was going to be kind of like what was going to happen, like they were all going to find a tarot card and that they were going to be killed.
Yeah, what's with
but
that
was
shit?
Only one time.
That was the only one that they fucking found in the depths.
And I'm like,
that is so
that would have been
true.
that would have been another great concept to have.
I'll drop my screenplay
or
to
like
0.
part of the screenplay, just because, like, you know, again, something unique,
right?
You know,
like each death has the tarot card with them instead of just the voiceover of the one chick reading the tarots again. Like, obviously, we are. I feel like they thought of us.
This one is the Virgo one.
Yeah, I feel like they thought we were just fucking stupid because they just kept replaying the fucking tarot readings. Like, no shit, that's how they were going to die from the beginning if you were paying any attention. We all knew
Previously on tarot.
Right. And I mean,
if you weren't listening about 4 minutes ago.
Again, telling us instead of showing us. Like what they did with the first one. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Right.
You know, and then,
Had they just shown the tarot, like somewhere before,
like the guy
it had gone again, you know,
picks it up or something,
right? Or like maybe they don't even see it, but it's a dramatic irony effect of the audience sees it and they don't. And
well,
then
with the newspaper,
with
the guy with the newspaper where he saw like where it was like you died or something.
Yeah. Oh my God! Spell
that
it out.
Should have been
for
the
us.
tarot card,
right?
That was corny.
That was so shit.
That was so corny.
It's like
dies today.
You die today.
Fuck you.
You're about.
Here's your
to
picture,
die.
Harry Potter.
Garbage.
Does it look like one of those?
It looked like one of the moving newspapers.
You should have saw himself get hit by a train. Just like, might as well.
There's like that. There's a spookier scene actually in Harry Potter where Dumbledore disappears after like the train like zips by, you know, where he's on the opposite end of the track. That would have been way scary.
I know.
Where like he totally gets cock blocked because he's looking at the one girl. He's like, "Hey," and the next thing, Dumbledore's like, "Harry." I don't know that guy. I don't know who he is.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. So what's your name? Harry. So how do you know your name?
Shit.
All right, I kind of know that guy. He gets me weed.
What's the mind erasing spell?
So All right, I gave it like a 6. I was like, like you said, too long in some places. Whatever is base.
Yeah.
It's very, very basic. Special effects, I did give it an 8 because for PG-13, I started thinking it was
That
just
was
a
pretty
soft
cool.
R. You know,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
good job sneaking all that stuff in, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 because they did the tarot people really well.
Yes.
But I feel like when it came to other things that they were trying to go for, it didn't really work out too well. So for instance, the light flickering or whatever, or not the candles, because the candle, like the first kill was really good, because like all of a sudden, boom, there. But like the bridge with the it was just too basic for like the hanging, like the rope just coming down, and it's like.
Well, yeah, because the monster was feeding it down like he was fishing.
Right,
Yeah.
but it
And
was
he's all
just
like, gotcha. Then he's like, reeled it in.
With that
And then
amount
he
of
held her up
enthusiasm,
and then
for sure.
took a picture and then dropped her back down.
And then dropped it down and then posted it to his Hinge account.
Yeah. First of all, he was catch and release. She just got caught.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I gave it a
Ladies.
7. Ladies.
Doing the fish pose.
Swipe right.
What do you mean you don't like sunglasses and overly tan? Because I don't believe in sunblock and a bass. It doesn't turn you on.
I mean,
That'd be
the
the
fool
true
was
Libra, I
like the creepiest because
Yeah, he
especially
was
with the
spooky.
elevator scene.
But again, if they hadn't gone on for as long as it would
Right.
have, it would have been creepier, in my opinion. Because I feel like a lot of the scenes where he was in, it was really fucking like, oh, I don't like the
Right.
initial where he was standing across the street was
and
really
then
well
all of a
done.
sudden his head
Yeah.
just kind of like
Yeah, just kind of fucking 360'd it. And I was like, oh shit, that's spooky. And then the elevator scene, very spooky. I don't like, I feel like another movie did that really well where it was like, oh, please, please with the button and it just wouldn't close or something like
Tower
of
of
the
Terror.
sort.
No, just
Terminator
kidding.
2.
a
With
lot.
like
I feel like I
T-1000
haven't
coming
seen
in
that.
and then he like shoots
No,
the
I feel like there's
I
like
feel
a
like-
thing where they press the button, they're like, please, 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 and it won't close. And you're like, oh my God, please close it, die, please.
There's a lot of movies like that. I can't think of them off the top
Am
of my
I
head.
thinking of like the new Scream movies? Did they have that?
They
in
probably
there?
did at some
Maybe.
point.
I don't know.
It's
Anyhow,
I mean,
It's
other
usually-
movies have done that trope better because I'm definitely one of those that's like, please fuck, close the doors in time kind of person. Like that definitely scares me. So the fact that they kept playing with it for too long
Mhm.
was,
Well,
you know,
they had to because they had to wait for his roommate to come in
right,
and open up the
save him.
elevator.
but that's a twist ending.
Yeah. I gave it a special effects. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because again, I agree. I thought they were really cool looking.
I like the costume work for the monster.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was very cool. And again, the set design very cool. But
The telling of everything that's going to happen.
God, it just ruined it.
The only thing I saw was bad about the special effects was the, oh no, she's now twirling away. It has to be super dramatic, and the CG is kind of
Right.
because everything else looked pretty good. It's just that CG on that little
Well,
tornado.
And I keep on going back to
Let
this.
go.
Yeah.
Like
Like even the drag me to hell part was cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like I keep on going back to this, but like if they would have just put the tarot cards randomly in places, it would it would also force the viewer to like recall that in their head rather than them tell us, because
Right.
like then I'd be like, oh shit, I gotta watch this again because what did she say about it?
Right.
Where this is just like,
Which I mean,
I'm done.
we know,
I'm not gonna
like
watch it
watching as avid horror movie watchers, we knew from her tarot readings that's how they were gonna die. So we knew to keep
Right.
track of that shit beforehand. And I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. Had you just put the tarot in there, it would have been like, oh, wait, what did she say about this one? How are they gonna die? Oh my God. Drawn and quartered? Huh?
so remember like
Is this the fucking Virgo?
so like silent films with the cards where they would say what they're saying and shit.
oh,
I kind of felt like that's what was going on. Like, before you're about to witness this murder, this is what happened to lead up to it. Ooh. And then it's like just the text reading it off for
Yeah.
you. And then you just see it.
and then we're gonna go find the woman,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
anyhow.
she's gonna come back to the house.
I don't think it was done well overall.
It had large potential to do
Yes.
well, and I think that's why it grows so much, just because people were like, "Oh, yeah,
it's unique," and it
you know,
and it has that vibe of
But
being.
Maybe the sequel will be really better.
Is there a sequel?
I mean, if it made this much money, they'll figure it out.
I guess.
yeah, probably."
Well, I hope so.
They'll just say Tarot, and then 15 minutes later, Tarot 2. The Tarot team.
The tarrowing.
Maybe
Tarrowing.
maybe
There we go,
they'll take
better.
our suggestions.
Yeah.
The harrowing, tarrowing.
All right, so overall, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I also gave it a 5 out of 10.
My score came out to 7 out of 10. I just said stream it.
I said skip it.
I said skip it.
It just wasn't worth it for me. Again, if you're looking for just pure set design and like pure fun creative vibes, sure. Yeah, definitely. If you're looking for like Krampus-esque,
Or
set
if you're just looking for
look.
if you're looking for something mindless to watch, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah,
But if you're
fun.
not and you actually want to sit down and actually watch something, don't watch that.
if you want to enjoy what you're watching.
there's like 5 other films that this took on that took from that
What
you
did
can
we
All
say?
watch
rated R
that.
films, too. That's what's kind of funny.
Final
All
Destination.
of them are rated R.
Cabin in the
Is
Woods.
Final Destination
Bird Box.
I thought so. Isn't Final Destination rated R?
I feel like it should be. If this is PG-13, then yeah.
Oh.
I mean, which Final Destination did he get his intestines sucked out his booty? Do you
Okay,
remember
well,
that?
No, I never saw that one. I saw the first one. That's it.
That one's like stuck in my
Yeah,
mind.
I think I only saw
because it's like not possible at all whatsoever, but it's always haunting me. Don't go to a public
Death
pool
by
or you get your
prolapse.
inside sucked out your booty hole.
So messed up. Oh, that reminds me of that news story about the woman who went down a water slide.
Oh, and got everything like pushed up.
Yeah, and like she had lacerations and everything else. Like
Yeah.
it was super serious.
Yeah. No. Like the opposite of Final Destination right there.
All right.
What was the rating?
It was rated R.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So they referenced all these
See?
rated R films.
Yeah.
And
then they try to put it in
Escape room.
PG-13.
What's
so-
Escape Room rated? I bet you it's rated R. There was a wild ass scene in that movie. I forgot. It also had the chick from the Daredevil TV series in it. She was wonderful in it.
Escape Room was PG-13.
For real? Okay, maybe I'm just misremembering shit.
Oh my god!
I
why
thought
can't
that was
think of
more
her name?
brutal than it was.
The redhead you're talking
Yes,
about.
the
right?
redhead.
Yeah.
She was the only.
Well,
I think
there's
she was the only good one in it.
But I feel like there's a way
Makes
to do
sense.
brutal without having to do brutal.
Right.
You know?
If you're looking for a fun set design, that movie's it. The rest of it is dog shit. But
You're trying to escape out of the movie.
if you want to find a cool escape room theme, that's
You can
pretty.
play-
just play the
you can
film and lock
play-
the door and say,
Yeah.
"Where's the key?"
Where's the key?
you can play
Where's
escape
the
room
key?
and then bring your friends to escape room.
Yeah. You can design escape room after the. No, don't do that, please. It is
Hey,
really fun.
Juliana.
No, hey.
Oh my god!
Listen,
What
I did
about-
actually have a nightmare just based on the themes of the escape room in that film.
Okay,
well,
now
I just
feel
thought
like
of
I have
like
to see it.
the last episode and all the escaping that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will. I mean, I'll spoil a little bit here. There's not a lot of escaping that goes on in the escape room movie.
You didn't escape at all.
Yeah. It is really good, though. It's not. It's so horrible.
That's funny. All right, so final thoughts on our two films to to end Halloween
Damn.
marathon was Tarot.
I thought both were really fun.
They are fun.
Yeah, they were really fun picks. Sleepy Hollow, I very much
yeah,
enjoyed it.
Sleepy Hollow is really good.
So
Tarot, it was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, well, that's what I liked about it. It was the concept was original and it was
Yeah.
fun.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that's why I
it
was
was
easing
unique.
up on it because
I didn't hate it. It wasn't fucking.
It wasn't like freaking something.
Oh man, there's this. What was it? I forget what this one movie we just saw at like these Americans in Serbia and they just make stupid decisions and it's weird.
Yeah, it didn't make me mad. That's a
Yeah.
nice thing. It wasn't so
Yeah.
bad that it was like, are you fucking serious?
Oh,
Yeah.
that one with the. Yes.
I'm wondering what else I've rated a 5 at this point. We're gonna have to go over all of these because I'm like, I don't think I've rated something a 5 yet.
Well, I guess that'll take us out. Whenever we come back, we'll be doing probably, I don't know, maybe one normal session of something, and then coming into holiday films about travel and Christmas
Krampus.
and
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Oh yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
We got to pick out stuff that we all haven't seen though too. Just a little FYI, like we did with Tarot.
We don't have to review it, but you should watch Thanksgiving because it's Thanksgiving themed.
And we gotta, after this, we have to show Juliana the sweaty ball skit that you
the
seen.
sweaty balls that apparently I keep referencing, but I don't know.
It's just the voice. It sounds like
the cadence of the voice.
It sounds like the NPR voice they used in there. So you'll.
Okay.
Anyways, we're going to
know it.
sign off, guys. Thanks for
Bye.
listening to the Halloween Marathon.
Love
We'll be doing
you.
this next year as well. So we're going to try to put in as many episodes as we can between now and the holiday, Thanksgiving and Christmas, because I have a funny feeling when we get closer to Christmas, we're going to end up being on break until after the new year. But we'll kick off our second season. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and follow us on our social networks, Keep Stream Skip. If you ever want to reach out to us, it's keepstreamskip@gmail.com. And also recommend us to your friends, family, if they are into this kind of stuff. We really appreciate it. But until next time, thanks for listening.
Love you.
I'm signing off on that.
I'll say it normal. Love you.
Yeah.